Very warm good morning from Agriculture Skill Council of India. Welcome to today's webinar session organized by the Agriculture Skill Council of India, which is a part of Krishi Kaushal webinar series under the banner of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And today's topic that we have chosen is rice transplanter, its awareness and economics. So before I begin, let me introduce myself. I am Imon Saikia, manager at Agriculture Skill Council of India. And we are honored to have Mr. Nitin Shukla today as our guest speaker. Nitin is working for the Mahindra Group, and he is currently at the Mahindra Excellence Center in Nagpur. Briefly, I'll say about his profile. He has more than 14 years of working experience in the automotive and farm mechanization sector. And for several years now, he has been working in the tractor industry with Mahindra. So today, in today's session, we will get to know about the importance of farm mechanization in India, its scope, and we will also be posing some important questions regarding the rice transplanter and how it is economically viable for our farmers. So I hope everyone keep their mics in mute during the session. You can drop your questions and post your questions in the chat box. And during the session, I request no one to pose any questions. After the session is over, we can get your questions from the chat box and respond to some of your queries. So I'll start the session now. Nitinji, we can start it now, and you can just initially give us a little bit intro on yourself and also about the importance and scope of farm mechanization in India, so that the participants who have interest in the agriculture sector and are from various domains, they would be able to grasp these things.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you very much, Iman, and thank you to ASCI for giving us this opportunity where we are talking about farm mechanization and rice transplantation, certain things on rice transplanter. And this is still a very nascent stage, so we are going to talk about this much more in detail. Secondly, I am thankful to all the dignitaries here and honorable participants and students, teachers, and this is going to be a very good session. You all going to love it. I am Nitin Shukla. I'm working for Mahindra and Mahindra. I'm total 15 years of experience by education. I'm Tech in computer design manufacturing and MBA in finance and marketing. So, and I have worked in research and development as well as in marketing and sales. So I have seen the 360-degree view of all the total business. So definitely this session, I'm sure, will help you to understand. And so let's begin. Can I share my presentation, Imran?
Yes, I'll give you the hosting rights.
Yeah.
Yes, you may share now.
Yeah. So welcome back again on our today's topic of rice transplanter awareness and its economics. So I am here presenting it from Mahindra Excellence Center, Nagpur. We have three centers, Nagpur, Mohali, and Zairabad, where we cater the need of our ground workers, servicemen, officers, etc. So before going forward, let us first stop here and try to understand what exactly is this farm mechanization. So roughly saying, whenever we are using the various technological tools and machinery in our agriculture operations, we are calling it as farm mechanization. So all the machineries and tools making use into farming operations are collectively called as farm mechanization. So we have seen, from land preparation till harvesting, there are a lot of tools and technologies and machines are, greatly in use to improve our work, improve the productivity. So this whole thing is called as farm mechanization. Okay, it involves the use of machines like, for seeding, plowing, fertilizing, harvesting, and also the post-harvest activities. So let's try to understand why it is important and how it is and what is the scope of this and how it is helping our farmers and different stakeholders. So what are the stakeholders? We also touch upon that. So one of the most important part is, is the productivity. What is the yield of the land? So when you go to the small scale farmers, this becomes like the, dominant characteristics during the farming. So how and what are the ways to increase the productivity of a farmland with the same inputs with minimal cost? So second important point is your cost efficiency. Using the farm machineries, we already have seen that for the long term usage, the cost keep getting decreasing over the time. So that is one of the most important parameter. Secondly, during the COVID time also we have seen when we are not getting labors. So in certain areas, it was very difficult for particularly in the very large fields to get the laborers because laborers are coming from Maharashtra, they are coming from UP, Bihar, MP, and certain areas labor scarcity was too big that even farming has been stopped for some time. So it also saves your time and efforts. By the same time, it increase and improvise the quality of the yield, quality of the farming, quality of the work. And last but most important point is scalability and the scale effects. So when somebody is going from a few acres to multiple of acreages, he needs this farm machinery because that many laborers will not be cost effective and everything cannot be done alone. So right from the tillage operations or the land preparations to post-harvesting operations, this scale effects is very necessary nowadays. In certain areas of India, like if you go to deep down south, and some parts of Haryana, where the fields are very large, more than 10 acres of field are also available. In these cases, the availability of laborers is very, very scarce. And that's where the farm mechanization played a crucial role in certain areas, in certain produce, actually. And uh, secondly, the biggest hurdle of or the challenge to make use of this farm mechanization is high initial investment. We have seen that over the time when we use these technologies, these tools, the cost keep reducing, and within 2 to 3 years, a customer can get all his money back. But right now, yes, this is one of the challenge, and a lot of things are working. A lot of small finance companies are available to finance the customers. Government schemes are available. We got to know through ASI portal also. So various schemes are available to reduce the burden on the end user so that he can, avail these farm machineries and improvise his or her, productivity. Second most important thing is the skill development. Now, this is where we are working with ASCI also, the industry and the partnership, industry, public partnership, public government partnership. Now, these machines are not very easily operatable by someone who does not know about them. So, the right set of skill has to be required for them to perform as per the need, as they should be. And that's where there is a very big scope of people, the engineers, the technocrats, the diploma people who are having some skill set in one of these farm machinery, and we have this harvester course and all available at ACI. Thirdly, people are not aware and they are not enough information about what kind of farm machine should be used in which kind of the lands. So awareness of the products, awareness of the uses, awareness of the application part is very much required, which is still not as much as it should be. In fact, there are a lot of players in farm machinery compared to tractor industry per se. And for that, we need to have a very good need to have infrastructures. Like here, it's also working to create more skill centers, creating more trainers, the trainers as well as the students to create this infrastructure at almost every place. And that's what the movement, whole Skill India movements, is talking about. How to create the high skill people, how to create that infrastructure so that people can come, stay, learn, and then. So these are few of the things and few of the challenges which are most necessary to also get the max juice out of this farm mechanization and its, uses and application. So this is what constitutes the farm mechanization, what it is, what are the scope of that, and why it is useful to the end user, as well as how to make it is more viable, how to make it more viable for the end user. Now let's move further and try to understand the rice transplanter. So that is our main topic of the day. How this rice transplanter, because we cannot cover all the farm machineries in the one seminar. So let's try to understand how and why we need rice transplanter. First of all, as you seen, this is the picture you are looking at is called rice. In cooked rice is called as bhat in central India and other parts. And it is not for India. It is staple food for many countries like China and Japan also. And they are consuming more than 60% of global population. And this rice transplanter planter plays a crucial role in rice cultivation. So rice has basically three different forms. First, the direct produce from the farmland is called paddy or dhan in Hindi. Then it is after cleaning process, it becomes raw rice or the chawal. And then when we cook it, it called cooked rice or bhat. This one old data, but it is good to understand the geographical importance of rice. This is 2016-17 data. I have not updated it. I will definitely share him on the updated version also. It is available with us.
Okay.
So you can see the central India part, the whole central India part, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. Even Chhattisgarh is known as Dhan ka Katora, the rice ball of India. Then most part of Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and then we go down south to Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, and northeastern state of India. So we can find the footprints of rice everywhere in India, except in Gujarat, okay, and few parts. Otherwise, rice is always there, and it is one of the most used, you know, uh, crop all over India. That is why the rice has maximum names also. So it is also known as Basmati or Hansraj, like from West Bengal and Haryana. Like other type is like Annapurna from Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh. Then Bhat Muri, Gobind Bhog and Lakshmi Bhog is very famous in West Bengal. So these are all the different varieties. So there are more than 2000 varieties of rice is available. So you can understand how much we Indian consume rice. Okay. Blood as their staple food. Now to cultivate the rice, there are basically two kind of methods. Okay, so two kind of methods are direct seeding or nursery transplantation. Direct seeding is not applicable in case of rice. So we have seen that direct seeding is for like wheat, potato, and all the pulses. Direct seeding method is applied. Whereas In case of rice, there's something called nursery transplantation. So, first of all, rice is cultivated in nursery, then it is transplanted to the main farm. And this nursery preparation is the most important part of this whole rice cultivation process. If your nursery is not good, then definitely the quality of the produce will not be good as well. So utmost necessity has to be taken. And this is where we see how exactly it used to happen. So in the left side of the picture, so I just create my pointer. So here you're seeing these are the seedlings which are grown in the nursery. So this is a separate farmland where the nursery is the seedling are growing. Then these seedling transplanted to the farming. Now you can see this is called manual transplantation. So each seed cultivated by hand, one by one, one by one. This is most cost incentive, most cost intensive, most laborious job, and also most time consuming. So in rice transplantation process, the most consuming part is to transplant rice from the nursery to the main farm. And because of the labor in incentive, you know, it takes a lot of time also. And you need really good laborers who can understand that, how exactly it has to be done. This is the most difficult, most complex mechanism also. If you go and see that, you will find it is not that easy as it looks like. And that's where the farm mechanization comes and play a very, very crucial role. The RTP or the rice transplanter work in the second stage. First stage is still manual. The second stage, when we transplant these rice seedlings back into the farm, it's the place where our rice transplanter will work. So we have all over India, not just by Mahindra, but all the manufacturers, two broadly based classification of rice transplanter, what they produce. Number one, the walk behind type, and number two, the ride on type. In walk behind, the farmer push the rice transplanter, and in ride on type, he sits on the rice transplanter. So this image, as you are seeing here, this is Mahindra model MP461. So you can see here, this technician is pushing this transplanter from back, from the rear side, and making it possible, the transplanting process. On the other hand, sorry, in this ride-on type of transplanter, we can see this person is sitting over the rice transplanter itself, and he's riding like a car. So for very big farms, this particular kind of rice transplanter, which is ride-on type, is used, and Mahindra, we call it LE4. This is rice transplanter RTP LE4, and walk behind is the model number is T461. When we see this rice transplanter operation, the something need to be important, something very important is this row to row distance. So here we keep the seedlings from nursery. From nursery, these seedlings we are kept over this tray, which is called a seeding tray. And then the far each seedlings, then seeding the plantation. So the distance between these two is fixed. We cannot change it because this is also required for the right cultivation, this 30 centimeter. If it is very much, less, so say it is 15 or 20, the growth will not be proper. This is as per the experimental results people have done on field. And the second distance, which is between two rows of the seedlings, is called plant pitch, and it is adjustable. So plant pitch can be adjusted, whereas the row to row distance or the track cannot be adjusted. Plant pitch adjusted with respect to the land or the type of the rice as well. Now let's go and try to understand the various parts of rice transplanter, what exactly it is and how it is working. So start from the front. First, we are looking at this engine. This is a four-stroke engine in most of the transplanter. Definitely in Mahindra, it is four-stroke engine. And then there is called transmission. So the power from the engine transmitted back. Now this power is used for two kind of work achievements. Number one, to ride this rice transplanter forward. Secondly, to activate the hydraulic pump. So hydraulic pump used here, which will keep it on upside. Okay. So, and third most important part is to give power to this transplanting unit. So I don't know if you have seen that, but once you see, it is like a bird beak type. So the seedlings are coming from here, and this beak, it takes that and then put it back to the land. So this is how the seeding is performed. Okay. This is the tray to keep your nursery seedlings. So your nursery seedlings are stored on this particular tray, which is transferred from this tray to the seeding tray, from this top tray to the seedling tray. This particular navigator, this is called the navigator bar. So the technician can always see where he is going. So it is supposed to be on a straight line. So he always keep the straight, he is always can keep the rice transplanter straight so that there will not be any loss due to misalignment. Then these are the wheels. Okay. And these kind of arrangement, what you can looking at this plastic type of arrangement, which can be seen here. This is called float. So float is actually keeping the rice planter on the top. So this is that the land area, and then there's water. So it has to keep afloat. So here this float is working. So we have three floats, as you can see, which can be adjusted. This is handle, the handle height is also adjustable. And the speed by which these beaks, which is actually the transplanting beaks. So these transplanting beaks are here on the side, if you can see that. This speed is also this speed can also be adjusted with respect to this. Okay. So overall, we can control the quantity of the rice seedlings. We can control the pitch of this seeding process. We can control the speed of our rice transplanter. The maneuver is also very easy in this particular kind of rice transplanter as well as in ride-on. So even for very small farmlands, it is very much useful. Okay. I hope I'm making sense here and you guys are able to understand. Later on, we also see this is the least labor intensive kind of work now, because you need one person who is actually pushing the rice transplanter or riding it. Secondly, you need just one more person who is keeping the nursery over this crate. So when previously more than 20-25 people are used, now only two guys can transplant this whole thing. Obviously, the nursery part is still manual. There are no farm mechanization available yet. So it is very useful for the customer hiring services who provide the services, okay, to create more investment to increase the productivity of the farmland. Secondly, it is very much useful for the post-harvest management. So once the harvesting is completed, so management of that is very important. And small farmers who cannot actually can go out and pay for the extra labors, it is very much useful for them as well. Okay, I just take a minute break because okay, Imanji, I just take 1 minute break. Just taking water.
Sure, sure. So there are certain queries in the chat as well.
Yeah, we can take on.
Yeah, Sashi Kumar ji has said that there is a popular nursery technology in South India called the VGRO technology. Thank you for that information.
Okay.
And also,
Yeah.
he is stating that currently we are understanding the business model and experiencing the internship over a month. And he is thanking for the awareness. Some people are asking about the
Can you please,
pricing.
okay. Can you please tell me the name of the technology again, Iman?
Yes, VGRO, for grow
VGR.
technology. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
as this is the session is going really well, and you have covered most of the points, like how the RTP, which may be initially a kind of an investment for the farmers, but in the long run it will increase the efficiency, and also the cost effectiveness will be increased, and also the different two types that you have said, and also their major parts. So that is
Yeah.
being covered here. And
Yeah.
you can also go on and elaborate, like how how this is done efficiently in the field as well.
Okay. See, uh, can you please mute others? So yeah. See, please understand, this kind of work in rice transplantation, and if you go to Andhra Pradesh particular and deep south, you will see a lot of work over here. It needs skilled people to operate the RTP machine. We need skilled people. That's why there's a lot of scope of skilled mechanics, skilled operator of RTP. And I think we have one course also, RTP operator like harvester. I'm not sure about that. You please confirm.
Yes, it's there.
Yeah, it is there because this is see the problem is if somebody don't know how to set the pitch, if somebody don't know by looking at the land what should be the float height, then the use of this machine go astray. There is no benefit we will get out of this just by these two settings. And we have seen in the field when farmer particular, they their children who are now new age farmers, when they are using this farm machinery particular RTP, there's an immediate acceptance of this technology. So to reply to your question, you need skilled people to operate this machine. Every person, every farmer cannot operate it, though it is very easy. Just after 2 hours of installation work, maybe he is able to do that. But to manage it efficiently, to store it properly, we need a person who really understands that. So yes, there's certain kind of skill sets are required to operate it more effectively as compared to someone who is not known to that.
So thank you very much for the information. So what we understood by this is that although the machines are there and it's available in the market, there are lack of skilled manpower to run these machines. So that
Yeah.
is
Yes. Yes.
that is something that I'd like to spread awareness among the participants, and also who has interest in farm mechanization, that this skill is very much in dire need at this situation, because we need to have operators who knows and have knowledge on operating those machines. And can you just also give us a brief idea how Mahindra and their excellence center are helping out people who want to have those skills, and also the farmers who can also come and
Yes.
directly learn the skills, how you are helping in them in those kind of causes?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Umanji, for asking this question first, because I definitely wanted to, throw some lights over here. So, Mahindra Mahindra is a company who we work a lot of work for the skill development. In fact, we have our dedicated skill development centers. Okay. So Mahindra runs SDCs, or the skill development centers, which are again public-private partnerships. So like in MP, we have 4 these SDCs. In Bengal now, the one is operational, 3 hours online. In Rajasthan also one is supposed to be online, and I think one with ASCI in in Hisar, Haryana, is also coming in line. So we have right now around 11 skill development centers all over India. Secondly, we have 3 centers of trainings, that is Mahindra Excellence Centers, Nagpur, Mohali, and Zahirabad. So these SDCs are for the young students and people, who cannot pay any much money but eager to learn. So we do not take any money out of this from them. If their eligibility criteria met, they can come to us. We provide food, we provide stay for 45 days. These are the resident programs for 45 days, which are basically the tractor mechanics. We start from the tractor mechanics, and then if somebody wants to learn more, they can come to us from different excellence centers. So this is like free of cost skill development centers where people have to come and stay for 45 days. Secondly, all our Mahindra Excellence Centers, we conducted these vocational trainings for 45 days to 60 days. Thirdly, people can directly come to us also, okay, if they want to learn, and if any batches are running, so we cater that need as well. So I think, in last 6-7 years, so we are removing the COVID era. Okay, more than 1,000 students have been skilled, and many are working in the Mahindra organization as well other organizations. So very good acceptance of the certification that Mahindra provide. So for their jobs also, not just if they are farmers or if they just work on that. Secondly, Mahindra also help them with the ASCI to provide to get them loans and other finances so that they can set up their own businesses also. So these kind of scheme, we are helping them. We are very much instrumental on that. So yeah, we are really working this part of like our ESOPs activities.
Thank you, Nitinji, for this information. Can you just cite some other farm machinery equipments that are of kind of importance, yeah, apart from the rice transplanter, which are the popular machineries that is coming up and which will solve the problems of our farmers in the long run?
Yeah, definitely I'll tell you. So farm machinery basically starts. So in transplantation, yeah, we have the tillage of cultivators, aerovators are there. But when you see the most laborious work and where people are stuck because of the skill stuff is harvester. You have seen still a lot of renting work is done on harvester part. So all the people like in Punjab and all, there are a lot of renting companies who rent this harvester. So if you ask me one area where a lot of skill set is required, just like RTP, then this is the harvester. And we have one course also, I guess, in ASCI, that is harvester operator, right? So one is harvester. Second is most commonly used thresher. So thresher, particularly after the advent of multi-crop thresher, people don't know how to do the settings and how to operate those multi-crop threshers. they normally use for one single crop. Actually, they can use it for uh, much bigger purpose. For example, suppose I am a farmer and I have this multi crop, but I produce only wheat. So only 2 months it is working actually. The rest 10 of the months it is standing still, right? Which I can be rented to others. So suppose there's other farmers who is a vegetable, pulses. So I can give it to him, right? So this multi-crop threshers, the awareness is very less. I want people to really learn about that. People are very good to understand single crop thresher like the paddy thresher. Second is a harvester. Now we have harvester technology has improved a lot. Okay. And third most important thing, what I still believe people don't do much of this is gyrometer or rotavators. I have not seen people really adjusting gyrometers, people really using the max potential of a rotavator to get the real benefit out of this application. So I guess these are the most important things where people still need to work to get aware and create skill sets around that.
We are coming to the concluding part of the session. So before we end, there are certain pertinent questions that are being posed by the participants. I'll just shed an overall light on that. Like, what are the reasons that may be causing a lack of adoption regarding the transplanters or other machineries? Why the farmers are not adopting at a rate that they should have done it? And how we can spread awareness among the smallholder farmers regarding the economics and how it can be beneficial in the long run for the farmers. So are there any ways that you can suggest that farmers adopt this and how it will be economically beneficial in the long run? So these solutions will provide like sustainable solutions which will be helpful for the farmers.
Yeah, definitely, because we are working all around that. Believe me, around 8-9 years back, when Mahindra we have introduced a lot of RTP schemes and new RTPs in the market. This is the same question which posed upon us also before us. How to convince farmers to use this technology? So one of the foremost important thing, please understand here to all the participants, people are not aware of it. They still think it is very costly, but if you see the cost, if you compare the cost of the labors for 3 years, it is almost 50% of the labor cost. Secondly, people are not aware of how to use it. That's why we use demonstrator here. Okay, so we take our own RTPs, all type of RTPs, we go to their field and cultivate before them with their whatever the nursery they have prepared. With the same nursery we also work on that. So for customer end, for farmer end, the most important thing is to show them how to use it properly, demonstrate that, let them write by themselves, let them feel the product. So touch and feel is very important. Secondly, we also take, we call them our customer as a promoter screen. So sometimes we give these seed things, what do you call the seed products? So it's called seeding. So we provide free RTPs to them, for example, or free tractors to them. And this way they demonstrate in their own field. So when customer sees someone from their own group, their own society is using them very efficiently and effectively, that is, I think, the best way to promote this product and this technology. By banners, leaflets, it never works. Even if you give a lot of discounts, still it doesn't work. As soon as customers see it in use directly in their field, it really creates magic, sir, in marketing side.
That is by like actually doing the thing and seeing by doing, kind of. Yes.
Yes.
Thank-
Yes.
So this is very valuable input. I think the participants during the entire session has understood the crux and the importance of farm machinery and how it can be aware and how the message can be spread across all the farmers regarding the economics. So from Agriculture Skill Council of India's side, I'd like to thank you for out of your busy schedule for being a part of this session and giving us this wonderful insights today. It has been a very wonderful time and we have learned a lot during the over this session. And I'd also like to thank our participants who have listened throughout the session very patiently. We have captured your queries through the chat box, and we'll try and get back to you on that. I'd also like to say that we'll be having such short webinars pertaining to the topic of agriculture. ASCI will be conducting such short webinars, and you'll be invited so that you and also your friends, the rural youth, students, teachers can mobilize awareness on this webinar, so that a lot of new things and latest happenings that are happening in the area of agriculture can be discussed and shared. So this will be very beneficial for us and to the farmer community as well. So thank you, Nitin sir.
Iman, I just want to add here. Thank you very much for this opportunity where I talk about this larger audience here, because we as a company, if there are certain limitations, we cannot go out and talk to this large audience so often. And thank you for having me. Thank you very much. Okay, have a great day ahead.
You too, Nitin sir, and you too have a great day ahead. And also, I wish all the participants a good day ahead. I'll keep you posted regarding such webinars in the futures. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.